So anyway, this guy walks into a recording studio and starts making this podcast and talking about life and everything. It's crazy. You should totally listen to it. Let's hang out. What is going on, guys? It is another Wednesday. We are back for another very exhausted episode. What's going on, guys? Welcome to Let's Hang Out. It has been an absolute just brutal 7 days since the last time I saw you guys. Man, I don't even know where to begin. I don't want to sit here and have a beat down, drawn out episode, so I'm really trying to not do that. But I'm going to be honest with you, it might be the topic to talk about today because I'm sure that a lot of us are feeling the same frustrations. So if you guys want to join the conversation, please do so. Feel free to join in using the hashtag Letshangoutpod, at Letshangoutpod, pretty much everywhere now. TikTok, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all of it. I'm trying to get better about posting on everything. I know that it's really like hot and cold in some places. I really got to finish building that network, and this is not the month to do it, so bear with me. I'm trying to get everything in gear for 2024 and just the projects that I have in mind that I want to get done. And it's a lot of moving pieces to get through, so eventually we'll get that framework put down and things will be more organized and cohesive. So we'll get there. But let's talk about some of the stress going on right now, and the reason why I'm saying that this is a very exhausted me coming into this. It has been busy with the holiday season, with deliveries coming in and not coming in, which we'll vent here in a second. I just recently got dealt another major blow to something I've been waiting for over a year, which is not happening. And I'm just feeling a little beat down by things, coming from such a high with everything that we had with all the holiday stuff being done, all the prep work for that, which is still very much a big win. But just to get to this point and have so many good things and then have one thing punch you in the face, just it sucks. So let's take a moment and appreciate a few things before we get into the meat of what I want to vent about, which I'm sure that many of you, if you've done any kind of online shopping, purchasing digitally of any kind and have things shipped to you, this is your episode. This is the venting episode where it finally happens. But going into this, some good things. Like I said last time in the last few episodes, things are done. The Christmas shopping was done well ahead of time. The only thing that we were really waiting on was to take care of our nieces and nephews and getting kind of like wish lists from them. That came much later than we liked, but again, everybody has their schedule, everybody has their own things going on. Not knocking anybody for it, it happens. But as soon as we got those, we got them knocked out, and everything has been trickling in. Thankfully, we've only had one thing that was canceled and I had to reorder. But otherwise, pretty successful all the way around, and not any reason to really be mad about things. Until I got to our side of things. There were a few items that were still making their way in, and with our kids, both of our older kids are dating at the moment, so trying to help them out, get a gift for their person, and my son had his figured out. We got it ordered. It had a little hiccup on shipping, but got here, and then from there it's been a matter of just kind of piecing things together. My daughter, on the other hand, her order has yet to ship, and I've tried ordering twice, so I'm a little frustrated there. But they're getting creative with some of the stuff they're doing here at home. It's worked out great, but the main stuff is just not shipping. I don't want to say anything because I just learned that that my daughter's boyfriend actually watches the podcast as well, so no spoilers on your gift, but thank you for listening and watching. And the rest of you guys, as always, thank you guys for watching. But yeah, I don't want to put any stress on any other situation that doesn't need to be there, because it really doesn't. But the shipping and the last minute shipping of things, is just kind of snowballed into this steady chain of every time we do a new order, we'll do them in blocks. We'll do a block of orders, a couple things here and go. There seems to be one thing in every one of those that just doesn't want to ship with the rest of it, and then I have to go through and track it down and reorder, or find a new thing similar to it and order that. And it's just become this wild mess. And the deliveries, let's vent about a few things. Some of you guys I know, some of you regulars that I know are listening to this are friends and family. And I know you guys have similar setups at your place. Deliveries come in, and if you're one of these, please voice it in the comments as well. At our place, to do a delivery, because we have a straight shot view from the road, it's that weird paranoia coming from living in the city. I don't like my stuff being left out in the open where it can be seen. So we have a crate. We have a delivery crate that's parked right out front of our door, directly in line of the cameras. So that way when a delivery happens, I can see that it went into the box, the person did what they needed to do, followed the instructions, and took off. And then if anybody walks up to the door, I have that view of making sure they're not getting into things they shouldn't be. Hopefully they're not opening the crate and looking into it. So it's pretty straightforward. You see the crate, it says right on the front of it, deliveries go in here. And I can't tell you the number of guys that have come up in the last week and either set the stuff on top of the crate when it's completely empty, set it there, and then walk away. So it's, again, straight line of the road, straight line view of the road. Or they take it and they tuck it kind of like what would be behind it, which is directly in front of our doorway, out of view of the camera, out of view of everything. One of our instructions is when the delivery happens to ring the doorbell, because we have one of those blink doorbells that records once the button's pressed. That way I can verify that they are in fact the ones who delivered and that it was just dropped off. Or if they're, if they have a second to have a question, they can at least communicate with me there. But it's this steady chain of, like, we get one guy who does really good and puts everything in the crate, and then the next guy will take the package and set it somewhere it shouldn't be. Or the one that really got me, the one that really started this chain of, like, getting angry, was a delivery we had for some of my wife's medical supplies. She and I both have our own little medical things that get shipped here, and sometimes it is by, like, FedEx, UPS. I don't remember who this was specifically, but they literally set it at the bottom of our ramp on our front porch. So we don't have stairs on ours. That we bought the home that had a ramp on it. We just kept the ramp. But they put it at the bottom of the ramp, not even on the front porch technically. It's like they didn't want to walk up and bother anybody. I don't know, but a $100 device, $150 device sitting there at the bottom of a ramp, out of view of everything, like. And then they marked it that they handed it to us, that they handed it to the resident. So, good job, guys. Just, come on, man. And then on top of that, today, actually, this morning, we were running a little behind, and I had to take our munchkin to kindergarten. I had to drive her to school. So when I get back, I come out of the garage, and we have an Amazon delivery coming up, which is the earliest I've ever had an Amazon delivery, right at 8 a.m. But he comes walking up. I startle him coming out of the garage. Doesn't acknowledge me, obviously startled though, and then keeps walking to the front porch. So I, close the garage door and I walk up behind him, and as I get to the ramp, to get from the ramp to the front door is maybe 4 or 5 steps. I get to the ramp and I watch him just drop the packages into the crate. And one of them is a big frame, and I know this, it wasn't meant to be a surprise of any kind because the wife asked me to help order it. It was a frame, a picture frame, and I just watch him drop it in the crate. Just standing there. So I go, hey, I'll take that, and startle him. Guys, here, I'll just, I'm so sorry, I'll let me get this. You could have set it in the crate, man. You could have into the crate. It was frustrating. And it's been the thing all season. It's insane. Our UPS guy is absolutely terrible. Our FedEx guy is even worse. And like, it's the holidays, obviously they have a lot more people, so it's a random mix of who you're gonna get. And I've had 2 really good deliveries from FedEx, and I've had the rest terrible. I've had 1 UPS delivery who actually followed everything and put it where it needed to go, which was great. But it's just this frustration of getting your stuff and making sure that it's okay. And I don't feel like it's very difficult. And I'm saying this from a perspective of never working in the world of postal, so I don't know what that's actually like. But personally, I feel like it's not that hard to take a package and put it into a crate that says, put packages here. Correct me if I'm wrong. If you guys are one of those that works in the postal service of any kind, is that difficult? Like, do you guys have guidelines where you're not supposed to touch the crates? Do we have to have it open and all you do is, kick it shut? Like, I don't know. I don't know. And it's frustrating because, again, watching a guy take a package and literally drop it in there, it's just mind-boggling. Why would you not just set it in there? Were probably your first deliveries of the day, looking at how full that van was. It's frustrating. Very frustrating. And then on top of that, so here's the real kicker for everybody. And if you're not triggered by the thought of this, then you may not have ever experienced this. In which case, I would say congratulations, you're on the lower end of people who have ever avoided this. But having your delivery get canceled, or having an item marked as shipped and then never actually arriving. So far, I've had 4 deliveries that have been that way, that have been marked as shipped and not delivered. I've had 2 that were canceled before they were even marked as shipped because the person never actually approved the order or confirmed the order. Which, okay, I get it. You didn't confirm it, so it never got to the shipping process. But then my big frustration today has been a 1-year-long attempt at getting information on something I ordered last year. You guys, if anybody follows me on socials in my gaming side of things, you guys know that Destiny is a huge thing in my world. And if you are a fan of Destiny anyway, you guys know that the game has been struggling recently as just a general community. Just a lot of things going on behind the scenes. And, I'm one of those, like, I appreciate the game for what it is. I love the game for what it is. I've tried to support the developers and stay on the positive side. I didn't want to feed into all the negativity of things, but I am so incredibly angry this morning. I finally got a response, and it's taken me a year to get a response. Normally they're very quick about things, but last year, middle of the year, they did kind of a mix-up on their structure and who was in charge of what. And then a couple months ago, they laid off a bunch of people. So just there's a lot of internal shifting going on. And unfortunately, the package that I had, or the item I had ordered, I'd been checking periodically, and on my account, it never showed that it shipped. And then mysteriously, a couple weeks ago, I logged in and it showed that it was completed, which means, it shipped. So I should have tracking. So I was like, great, I'll look and see because maybe it just started. And I have a tracking number, but no email saying that it shipped. So again, I'm reaching out to these guys. I have been to get an update and haven't gotten anything. So I hop on social media. I hop on a couple different channels of theirs, and I start just every time there was a post about a sale going on or a thing you can get from the store, I was hammering the ats and making sure I haven't gotten this. You guys, somebody please reach out to me. Like the irate idiot, and I hate doing that because I don't know. It would infuriate me being a seller if that was happening, and I really don't want to be that guy. But I kept on them for a while and finally got a response today. And the response basically said, hey, your order is so old that we have nothing we can do for you. Your tracking information shows that it was shipped out December 28th of last year. That's past the 120-day tracking window that UPS or USPS has for this. We can't do anything for you. And it really got to me because, again, I never received a tracking email. Not at all, not once. And I've gone back and checked my emails multiple times over the year just for that reason, to see if it ever shipped. And I'm not new to this whole process. I know that there are items that take a very long time to ship because they are custom ordered. You know, I have a friend of mine that I've been gaming with who ordered one of the jackets that they offer for Destiny, and it took him almost a year to get it. And he didn't get tracking until the very end, almost when it was there. So I'm not dumb to the process. So at this point, you know, I assumed that it was just taking a while to ship. I got the email in December saying that things were on track and they should start shipping within 2 to 3 weeks. So that was the 20th, December 20th. So in 8 days, apparently my item shipped, and I never got a tracking number. My account was never updated. Nothing. And I contact USPS about it, and they confirmed that the number is pre-generated and there was never a package handed to them, which is why it still sits in their system as waiting for package. No resolution yet, but I'll let you guys know. I'll keep the social side posted, but like that is the peak, the absolute tip of the iceberg, but the peak of the mountain for things that have just been going on this week that have been very angering. So I've tried as hard as I can to really kind of stay positive, and I'm trying to look past things. This weekend was a anniversary for a loss of a friend of mine, a very good friend of mine, and it was really trying to avoid thinking about it all weekend, which thankfully I was able to keep my head elsewhere. But dealing with this stuff, man, like, frustration setting in so bad. And I want you guys to understand, and I know it's been a long rant, like looking at the timer now, I realize I ran like a 6-minute long rant there. So if you're still with me, congratulations, gold star. I will put one in the mail for you if you send me a message with an address. I will literally send you a gold star. But I've done everything I can to kind of stay positive with it. And the message here is that, yes, sometimes things like this happen. Sometimes delays and cancellations happen. And all you can really do is swing with the punches here. Like, you just roll with the punches. Not swing with them, roll with them. Roll with the punches. And, you know, this big one here is a large chunk of money that I'm not getting back, apparently, which I'm going to fight to the bitter end. But other things like the canceled deliveries and stuff, I can deal with those. I can manage those. I have information that shows me that this thing was ordered, but it's not here to be delivered or whatever. Like, I can deal with that stuff. But this one thing here where I'm just flat out cash angers me. But again, I'm just going to roll with it. There's not a lot I can do from my side. I can start providing information to verify my stuff and then hope for the best. And going into this holiday season, it's busy. Things happen. I get that. I worked retail for longer than I like to admit. And as a manager, like, sometimes those things just happen and you fix it. You work with it. So hopefully there's some resolution there. And hopefully you guys don't have to go through and experience too much of this season. Hopefully you guys have already gotten your shopping done. We talked about it a few weeks back on the Thanksgiving episode and the Christmas Wins episode. Just getting stuff done, man. Like, just be on top of it. Get it done. Get it out of the way. Not much you can do, but just fingers crossed and get things done. So, long enough rant about that. Long enough venting on the negative side of things. This episode, you guys, looking at the calendar, looking at things coming up, this will actually be out if I can get things edited and done. This should be out the 13th, 14th, something like that. So if it's that day, awesome. I was on top of things. It worked out. If it's later, this will lead into Christmas, which I don't know for sure just yet what the schedule is going to look like for episodes coming out then. So as a bit of a preface for everything going through the end of the year here, if I can stay on top of things and make the edits I need to make, clean things up, produce what I need to do, and produce what I need to produce. Don't know what I just said before that. If I need to take time to produce anything more, or if I'm working on other projects, because I still have 3 milestone streams that I need to do for my gaming side of things. I have a birthday party coming up for my youngest, and a sleepover with my nieces and nephew. It's the next few days are busy, and I really want to be able to stay on top of things and get stuff done. So fingers crossed you guys, that I can stay on top of that. And if this comes out on time, awesome. If it's late, the Christmas episode that I had planned in my head to kind of celebrate with everybody and have some fun will be maybe a little late. I don't know. It might not even be on a Wednesday. We'll see what happens. But for you guys that have listened and decided to hang out with me for the day and have hung out with me for multiple episodes, because I see you guys popping in, I see that the information is there and you guys are still listening, which I appreciate you guys beyond words. I really do. It's the craziest thing to sit here and think that a year ago, almost a year ago at this point, that this started off as just kind of a dream to chase, a project that I've wanted to do for a long time with myself, and start bringing in some friends and hanging out and having some fun. And you know, some people that were there with the original idea a year ago have been here and supporting the whole time, and others that were there with the original idea was conceived have left and moved on and chased their life in whatever direction they go, and even with that, you know, I wish them well. But it's you guys that keep coming back, you guys that keep listening, that keep driving me to do more and try to do more, and I appreciate you guys so much for that. Thank you guys for letting me chase this dream and work towards making it a reality and improving it every step of the way. It's been a mixed bag of things all year long. We'll talk a bit more about it during the Christmas episode if I get to making that on time. I don't want to give too much away. I don't want to give too many extra praises and accolades, because I really do want to aim to get that episode out. So whenever it comes out, you guys, we'll talk more then about things. We'll give ourselves the attaboys and pat on the back that we need. And I will send this year out with a little bit of positivity and some good story sharing and things like that. So we'll call it good here. It feels like a good spot coming out of that rant and talking about things. So thank you guys again for listening. No hashtag for this episode. I don't have one that feels right for this one. So again, hashtag Letshangoutpod, at Letshangoutpod everywhere if you guys want to talk about things. But let's get through this, guys. Let's get through this last month and come out swinging on the other side and ready to go for 2024. And I will chat with you guys on the next episode. Have a great rest of your weekend, and I will see you the next time. See you next episode, whenever that is. Take it easy, guys.